Hey everybody, Omega is here. Oh, sorry about that. Had to check and make sure that I was recording. And this is my version of the Fire Emblem voice meme of Trent's video responsey thingy. I know we didn't start it, obviously, but yeah, it's my thing. Anyways, let's just get going. So the first question is, as you can see it, how did you first break into the series? When was your first FE title? Well, technically, the very first title that I ever played was FE7, but I played it on my friend's cousin's Game Boy, and it was like years before I really got into the series, and I only played I think like the first two chapters, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't really think too much on it. Like it was just kind of like a short, like, oh hey, this is a game I've heard about but never played before. Let's try this out, and I promptly forgot about it. It wasn't actually until later when I actually really did get into the series and I played that game again that I even remembered doing it. So yeah, but what I consider my first FE title would be Path of Radiance, because that was the first one that I ever really saw like commercials for on TV, and I saw advertisements for. I actually got really hyped for it before it came out, and I remember the first time that I played it because I had an influx of money at the time, and I ended up buying FE9 and Soul Calibur 3 at the same time. I brought them both home, and then Omni came over for the weekend, and we played the crap out of both of them. Me playing Fire Emblem more than anything. He played Soul Calibur more than anything. But we had us a fun weekend that weekend. Anyways, but yeah, Fire Emblem 9 was my first title, and it seemed like it's not uncommon for that to be true. So, second question: which Fire Emblem title is my favorite, and why? Um, I think my favorite Fire Emblem is FE4. I think because I really like the besides the darker nature of it, which I also really like. I really like the little generation-y system where you can pair the characters up. They can make the babies. I really like that game, that kind of system in games that that try to do similar things, because it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool idea to me, and it's something that really interests me because you can make your own pairings. So, and that's something that's it's cool to me. I like that. Second favorite would probably be FE9, just because it was the first one that I played. It was my introduction to the series, and it was just like, wow, this is so cool. This is so much fun. Blah blah blah. I really liked it. So, but I do like 4 better, again because of the soul breeding system and the darker nature of the story. And just don't want to say it. I'm pretty sure pretty much everybody that's watching this video has played FE4, but I mean, I'm not going to get too into it. But man, it's pretty dark, and I like that. I like games that aren't afraid to be dark. That's why I like Persona 3 better than Persona 4, partially. So, and man, if you only hear one thing about Fire Emblem 4, make it Tiltiu in the second arc, because man, she gets it rough. But anyways, what's my favorite class or class tree, and why? My favorite class is certainly the Myrmidons slash Swordmaster slash True Blade in FE10, that kind of stuff. Just because I am a man of simple tastes, self-proclaimed anyway. And when I was a kid, pretty much every single series that I was into, you could guess my favorite character just by like the one with the sword. Just because when you're a dumb little kid, swords were just so awesome to me, and they were so cool, and that kind of carried over into Fire Emblem, in the sense that I really liked that their animations tend to be flashier. They dodge a lot, they crit a lot, and it's just like you kind of just to kill everything with a swordmaster. Like, it's almost in the job description to be a good swordmaster. You have to kick everybody's ass. But yeah, that is definitely my favorite class. Who is my favorite character and why? This is a bit of a toughie, because I don't really think about like the entire series and when I think about my favorite characters, I think about my favorite characters sort of by game kind of deal, and I don't really think about the series as a whole. So it's a little hard for me to just pick one character, and it's kind of hard for me now. But I can tell you some of my favorites of some of the games. I do really like in FE2. I really like Celica. I really hope that that FE2 gets remade one day because it was a really good game, and I never would have played it if it wasn't for Trent. So but it's a really good game, and I really like Celica. I thought she was a really good heroine, especially considering what time period it was when that game came out. But I do like her a lot. Skipping to FE4, I do like Tiltiu and Tinny. They're pretty cool characters. Levin is a really cool character. I'm gonna skip ahead to 7 because I haven't played that much of 5 and I haven't played 6. I haven't played 6 at all. I've only played a little bit of 5. I don't really have an opinion on it, so it's way too hard for me. But going to 7, favorite character, definitely Sane, because it's like Sane is such a bro. Like if I had to pick probably a single character on the series to be friends with, I would be friends with Sane because just we would get along so well together. We'd be buddies. We can go around riding our horses and hitting on girls. It'd be fun. And then some of the other characters that I do like Matthew because he's a cool thief. He's actually one of the very few thieves that I actually like in the series entirely. So I do like him. I do like Guy. I think Guy is pretty cool. And Hector's a pretty cool bro. And Lynn I'm indifferent towards. Eliwood I hate, but we're gonna get into that later. Going into FE8, there are 3 characters of FE8 that I really like, and that is Joshua, because Joshua kicks ass. He's awesome. I like Joshua, I like Lute, and I like Tana, because they're just, I don't know, something about them. They're just really, really cool to me. I really like them a lot. So now, least favorite characters and why. That one's actually pretty easy. I can pretty much say without a doubt that Eliwood is my least favorite character. Not because he's a bad character in terms of personality-wise. I just really, really hate him. Like, almost irrationally. Because pretty much ever since the day that, I was exposed to Eliwood, I've really not liked him. For the first part, his name is really stupid. Okay, I don't know whose idea that was, but that's a terrible name. So, that's a bad first impression off the start. His design is not that interesting. His character is pretty generic good guy, and he's a crappy lord. So it's like there's just nothing really likable about him at all. And I really don't like him a lot. To be fair to Roy, I haven't played FE6, but one of the reasons why I haven't played FE6 is because I'm pretty sure I won't like Roy, because I've heard things about him, and he's also Eliwood's son, so, you kind of get that association together. But, yeah. Anyways, any pairings that I like and, dislike. But when it comes to pairings, I'm actually pretty canon supporting. Like I really like Makai and Soth. I thought they were a pretty sweet couple. I really like Joshua and Natasha. I thought they were pretty sweet. I like Tana and Ephraim. That's not necessarily canon, but one that I really like. That is not so canon. Lynn and Wrath, I think, are better than anybody else with Lynn. Because, they got the little Sakayan thing going on. Him and his one earring and his evil looky face. Girls go for stuff like that, apparently, if anime fans are to be trusted. And, those kind of pairings. Pairings that I dislike. I really dislike Mist and Boyd. Because that's just, like, out of nowhere, and it's like, what the hell, man? Where did that come from? Mist and Boyd in FE10? That's so stupid. You would have thought that it was Miss and Rolf, which I would have liked, because, they got, like, the childhood friend thing going on, so it's like, they would have been so sweet together, but, like, Mist and Boyd? It's like, did Miss and Boyd ever even exchange more than, like, 3 lines of dialogue in the entire course of those games? Because the only time that I remember it happening is the prologue of FE9, where she like taunts him for being weak and losing to Ike and crap like that. And that's like literally the only time I can remember off the top of my head where they even exchanged lines of dialogue. So you know that was really stupid to me. As far as friendships go, you know, I like Sane and Kent. I like you know, Edward and Leo. They kind of have, you know, a bit of a bro thing going on, that kind of stuff. I haven't really thought about the friendships too much. Talked about some of the favorites headcanons. I actually didn't know what that word meant till I did this. I can say that, but kind of along that same line, you know, like kind of like Trent said, like Edward and Leo, I could see that secretly working, and Sane and Kent too. Honestly, like I really kind of think that Sane will pretty much just have sex with anything that moves. You know, like Shinon's joke to Gatry about the tree skirt. I think that applies to Sane just as much as it does to Gatry. So that's pretty cool. I haven't really thought about that one too much, so I'm just gonna move on to say the following names. We have Lilina and Diek, Eliwood, which is a really stupid name to me, Uther, Canis, Athos, Getz, Linus, Farai, Sakai, which I know that I don't think those are the popular pronunciations of those two names, but they sound way cooler to me than Farai and Sakai. I don't know, something about the word Sakayan, just it doesn't really click with me. I don't really like it. Renee is my pronunciation of that. Ephraim, which that's actually a biblical name. I don't think very many people actually know that, but that name comes from the Bible. I don't know off the top of my head specifically where it's from, but I remember seeing it, you know, in the Bible, and I was like, oh hey, it's Ephraim, and I couldn't stop thinking about Fire Emblem 8 that whole time. It was a Sunday school one day. Ephraim, Lion, Ennis, La Rochelle, Ewan, as in Ewan McGregor, is pretty much the only reason why I say that. Grail, I don't even know why Grail is on there, because they flat out say his name in FE10 and voice cutscenes. So it's like, you gotta be kind of, you know, I don't know why you'd ever get that wrong. Titania, Rise, which I know I'm saying wrong, I don't care, because it sounds cool. I get so many people telling me, hey man, you're pronouncing Rise wrong. It's supposed to be like Riss, or Reese's, or Rithin. Shut up, okay? It sounds cool, it's Rise. To me, it always will be. And I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, I don't really care. I like it that way. Rise is a cool name, it's a cool way to say it. Zahark and Nefine and Joffrey, which kind of like Trent, I think, that because his name is also said in voice cutscenes. And before then, I thought it was Jeffrey, you know, just like Trent. Partially because I'm pretty sure that's how the butler from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air spelled his name, and it was Jeffrey, is how they said in that show. So, Muaram and Rajan is how I say that. And I'm surprised that there aren't more Lagoos on here. Well, any others that you feel you pronounce differently than most people? I'm pretty sure not many people say Lath. I've heard, I know Ray in particular says Leth. I've heard like Leith, stuff like that. I always said Leth and Liar were their names. I'm surprised they don't have the Phoenicis, the Hawk Country, the Lion guy's name. The Dragon King's name, that one was pretty hard to pronounce. But besides that, don't really think that that I say too many wrong. So there's some more questions down here, so I'm going to zoom and let's stop it like there. Not used to recording with Camtasia. This is actually the way that Trent records everything, and this is actually my first time using it to actually record something. So. Is there anything that I would change about the series or any game in particular? Mostly in Shadow Dragon, or 11, whatever you want to call it, because it still felt like I was playing an NES game, and I didn't like that. Like, there were just way too many not good characters, like way generic characters. Like, there's the part where you get, I think, like 4 pirates, pretty much like back to back to back. And they're all just generic, and it's just like it doesn't have that sort of characterization that the other games in the series have that I really like. Besides the fact that, you know, like, changing character classes was kind of not helpful. It's inconsequential, I would almost call it. I really didn't see the point in it. And it just, like it felt like I was playing essentially an NES game in the sense that it wasn't very in depth. Kind of like how, like the first Zelda, on regular Nintendo wasn't in depth. Because, that's just kind of how games were made back then. I can't say I blame them. I just wish that they would have perhaps modernized it more. With the exception of the really bad attempt of trying to make Marth look manlier. I thought that was pretty funny. They should have kept him with no pants on. That's what they should have done. You could save the world with no pants. But besides that, I would of course like to see the generation system from FE4 come back into the game, or just a remake of FE4. I'd really really love that. So I'd like that to come back. And there is kind of something, and I say this mostly in reference to FE10. It's kind of getting, I guess, a little stale. I guess the system is. I don't know if that's because I've been playing it for so long, but it's hard for me to exactly put my finger on what's wrong. But there was something about FE10 that's like, it's kind of hard to keep going. You kind of have to make yourself keep going. It doesn't really hook you as much as some of the other games hooked me. And I've heard other people have similar complaints, but it's like it's kind of hard to just say, this is what's wrong. I kind of just have to give a general. Like I figured I was just like getting tired of the system because there wasn't that much different about FE10. But there was something about it that's just like, yeah, I don't know. They needed to, I guess, update that. And I'm not really sure what they would update, honestly. Like I'd be a little hesitant to give voice acting to the series because that's going to be a lot of voice actors that they would have to hire for the English, and I think that would pretty much guarantee that it wouldn't get localized because that'd be way too many English voice actors to hire. But they can come up with something. I have faith in them. It's Nintendo. Anyways, describe your reaction to each of the following situations. When a character gets a perfect level up. When a character gets a perfect level up, which by the way has never happened to me in years of playing Fire Emblem, not once actually. But if it did happen, I imagine I would probably scream and just get really, really happy because it's never happened to me before, and because it would just be awesome. But yeah, I can definitely see how, yeah, that would make me really happy. When a character you really like / really hate dies, my stomach just kind of sinks. And really, this goes for both of them. But if it's a character that I really like, I just kind of like feel bad. Like my stomach sinks, and I'm like, damn, I messed up. What am I gonna do? Feel a little bad for myself. Feel like I really suck at Fire Emblem, which I do, but it makes me realize it even more. And then I reset the game. And if a character that I really hate dies, I still kind of do the same, unless it's. Well, obviously, characters that you really hate. But sometimes I will not care as much. Like, if I'm frustrated or irritated at a level, and then a character that I really don't like dies, and I'm not recording this playthrough, I will sometimes just go on, just because I don't want to deal with it anymore. And, yeah, presuming I'm not recording this playthrough, because if you're going to do an LP of a Fire Emblem game, you're expected to not let anybody die. That's just kind of like par for the course, so. And when a character misses an attack with over 90% chance to hit, I just kind of feel bad for myself, and I silently rage at the RNG goddess. Which, anybody who's watched any of my videos before could pretty much tell you that, yeah, me and the RNG goddess, we kind of have like almost like a pendulum-esque relationship, where like I would get bouts of really good luck and then bouts of really bad luck. And it's kind of hard to tell, which area that I'm in. I think you can watch pretty much any chapter of any of the games and tell that. So, yeah, that tends to happen. Probably more for me than it should. But yeah, there's just something about, that kind of feeling of knowing that you had every reason to get that, and it didn't work. And I think everybody gets equally as mad when the AI gets a really lucky hit off of, a really low percentage. And stuff like that. So, everybody rages when it happens. It's natural. And finally, tell us a story about something cool slash funny slash infuriating that happened to you while playing Fire Emblem. This is kind of something that I have to think about. I can remember that one time I was playing FE10, and I think it was actually my first playthrough of FE10. And I was on the chapter where they're in the prison. They're going to rescue like the Daen soldiers or whatever, and like Tornio is distracting them up front or whatever, and they're going around the back to rescue the prisoners. I was playing that chapter, and there's sort of like a transitioning little part of the arena where you're going from the left side to the right side, and there's those holes in the railing that you can be indirectly attacked from. And I can remember there was a band. I guess he was a bandit. I don't remember, but I remember he had a hand axe, and he attacked Laura from the bottom of one of those railings. And for one thing, this is my first playthrough. I was playing on easy because I tried normal. I didn't get very far. I wasn't having fun, so I switched down to easy. So I was on easy. She had the terrain advantage because she was actually on top. She was on the higher area, and then the hand axe guy was on bottom. So he was you have the little height advantage there. And then also she had a support bonus with Edward because I always pair her and Edward together because Edward needs healing so much that I always keep them together. I don't remember what rank. I want to say it was only C rank, but still. So she had the support bonus from that. So she had every reason to survive this. And this bandit with a hand axe hits her for just enough damage to kill her. And I got so mad. And you rage quit. You shut the game off for a little while, come back. I did all that. So, but yeah, that's something that's always really really funny to me. And then I can remember having. It was FE7, and I don't remember which boss it was. It was towards the end. And I was fighting a boss that just for some reason just started dodging everything. Like it didn't really matter like what percentages were. I think I was actually hitting like solid like 70s all around the table really. And I think I got him down to like 5 HP, and then he dodged like 7 attacks in a row. And yeah, that got to me too. So those are some stories. But as far as series stories go in general, because really I was kind of thinking about this a while ago. I was just kind of thinking about how series that I played have affected me. And at the time I was actually thinking about Zelda because one of my friends is coming over sometime next week, and we promised that we were going to play Skyward Sword together because Zelda was always not like a foundation of our friendship, but like when we met because we started talking about Ocarina of Time. And like whenever a Zelda game comes out, we'd always play it and talk to each other about it, and freak out over hey man, I found this, or here's how you solve this puzzle and stuff like that. And it's always been something that's only really been between us because not too many more of my other friends like Zelda, and certainly not as much as me and him do. So I got to think about that, and I started thinking about other series that I guess have. Excuse me, I just ate. Sorry. Other series that have affected me beyond just being video games, and Fire Emblem was one of them. And actually, probably the one that I least expected to actually sort of change my life, because when I first played it, it was just kind of like, hey, this game looks cool. Like I said, I got hyped for it when I saw the TV ads. Sorry, I don't know why I keep burping, but it was seriously just one of those games that that I picked up one day out of the blue, and it was really really fun. And then from that moment forward, I've been a fanboy, pretty much. Not nearly the encyclopedia that Trent and Ray are, but I do consider myself to be a fanboy. And it's just kind of hard to think about it. Like if I never got into that series, most of my fans wouldn't have come to my channel. I would have never met Trent and Ray, two of my bestest friends forever. And it's just it's kind of almost sad to think about. So it's it kind of makes you think just how easily life can be changed and whatnot, all sorts of fancy stuff like that. So But another cool Fire Emblem related story before I go is I'm going to start uploading normal videos again next week, starting with the Batch of Dark Cloud. And over the course of like 3 videos, I talk about my uh, anime convention trip that I had. It's actually been quite a while now, but I have like 3 videos where I just talk about it. And I actually cosplayed for my very first anime convention, and I was sort of hesitant to tell people about this, but I cosplayed Soth from FE10 Soth, my very first anime convention that I went to, and I wasn't expecting very many people to recognize me. And man, I counted. I'm proud to say that 48 people openly recognized me, and by that I mean they either stopped me and said like, "Hey man, that's a cool costume. You're from Fire Emblem," or something like that, or they stopped me to take a picture, or just to tell me that they liked it, which is good because I didn't think I was gonna get that many people, because because Fire Emblem isn't the biggest of series anyway, and I was also the only person in my group that was cosplaying a Fire Emblem character, so it's not like, people are going to be, thinking that I'm with, this other group. I'm a character from there, so they just don't know. So I was pretty sure I was going to get recognized, and then, we walked into the convention grounds, and in like the first 10 seconds, like this girl comes up. She was dressed as Ness from Brawl. She comes up, she hugs me from behind, and she was just like, thank you for for being so. Fire Emblem is awesome. And like we literally just walked in the door, and already I'm getting hugged by a person that I don't know, telling me how much she likes Fire Emblem, how awesome it is. So that was really, really a boost of confidence. So, and it was kind of funny because I always pick like my friends always picked on me, saying that nobody was going to recognize me. So I'd pick on them back, saying that somewhere there was going to be a girl that was dressed as Micaiah. That was going to be the only person in her group that was cosplaying Fire Emblem. We would meet and fall in love, and all this hilarious crap. And I didn't meet a Micaiah. I did meet a Leanne, who was the only person in her group that was cosplaying Fire Emblem. And that was pretty cool. I got a picture taken with her. I'm actually not sure if I should show pictures because manly midriff and whatnot. You know what? Why not? Just for you guys. Yeah, I'll flash some pictures up around here, and kind of let you guys see the horror for yourselves. I'm pretty sure I actually said in my Dark Cloud videos that I wasn't gonna post any pictures because I didn't want anybody to see them. But now that I've had this big long spiel, I'll let you guys laugh at me a little bit. I'll post some of them up and let you guys see. So, anyways, that is all for my stuff. If you would like to do this yourself, go to actually respond to Trent's video, not mine. Do a video response to Trent's video, which this will be a video response to. And let me know a little bit about how how much you like the series, how much has affected you, and stuff like that. And just say that, well, hey, because Omega asked me to, I'm just gonna talk about all this and whatnot. And give a little bit of a more personal reaction to it. So. But anyways, that's all I have to say. This video is almost half-hour long. That's way too long already. So I hope you guys all watch this. I don't know why you would, but I hope you all did. And I will see you guys. I'll start recording videos again next week. So I'll see you guys then. Laters.